Today we're going to be checking out how Dave the Diver works on a Retroid Pocket Flip 2. We're using GameNative here as our first launcher, so we'll dive into that, yes, pun intended. Opening up the settings, I want to verify that we're using the best known config. That is our most likely chance to succeed, so let's get into that. One of the things I'm really enjoying so far about the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 is its mobility. I'm able to bring it out with me, have a lot more handheld gaming in my life. I'm heading out to Gen Con in Indianapolis for a nice week-long trip with some friends. And while I'm out that way, hope to get in some more hours. So if you've got any recommendations of games I should be playing on my Retroid Flip 2, go ahead and just put that in the comment section. And we've got a crash right away. Putting in that review, go ahead and click through this, be a good little user here. I've had, honestly, pretty poor luck using GameNative, but GameHub here, you can see, got about a half hour in Stardew and 3.2 hours in Dave the Diver. So it's definitely been a lot more functional for me. I'm not quite sure why GameNative seems to be eking out a bit of a lead in usage, but we get right through the load screens here. We've got our next load screen. You can see I always get a little bit antsy there. And again, this is running on Android, so it's not exactly the native experience that it is supposed to be, but I've got interactivity here in the menu. Clicking into that continue will get this one loaded up. Really looking forward to getting out, playing some more games. Yeah, absolutely loving this little thing. I've got a Odin 2 Portal on the way. Should actually be arriving tomorrow. Really interested in seeing how that's going to function. As we get into day 2 here in Dave the Diver, I've got a phone call coming in from Ellie. You can see I'm easily able to click through all these menus. It is a pixel art style game, but as you can also see, it's reasonably small font. So as clear and wonderful as the screen is on the Flip 2, this game plays very, very interestingly. The text is so hard to read. Even here, as you might see, unless you've got this on a full-size screen now, the objectives in the top left-hand corner, and here as we go through some of the information tips, it's very small writing. So unless you're already familiar with the game, you might have some issues. And speaking of issues, you can see it froze and crashed right there. Fish stopped moving, had no interaction, so I go ahead, I clear out the memory, and we'll load it back up. Let's see if we've got a better shot at getting it to go through here. That's one of the things I've noticed is this being only an 8 gig model. I think that is most likely what the underlying problem is. Trying to have loaded the game in GameNative and then loading up in GameHub, it might have been using too much of the memory. When I closed out there, you could see it freed up a couple of gigs worth of memory. So there is a chance that that is why you'll see improved functionality here as we go into the third and final segment of the video. And if you've made it this far, please go ahead, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more like this. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback about these side-by-side comparisons, so let me go ahead and see what type of content you'd like or what game you want to see next. Let's hold down that X button and dive right in, Dave. Again, very small writing. I don't believe there was anything in the accessibility options to increase that. Boom, we've got the fat man in the water. So going around, you can see I've got fine control here, able to use and shoot the harpoon. Gonna go ahead, grab a couple of fish here as well. As you can see, when we started up this most recent segment, we were on day 2. Day 1 not only has your prologue, your introduction, you go through a fishing scene like this, and you also serve at Bancho Sushi for the first evening. So, yes, I can attest that Dave the Diver does work on a Retroid Pocket Flip 2, but you might not see the requested functionality. It's not going to work quite as desired, but it does work. You can have a play experience on this, at least in some of this earlier levels. I would worry that the deeper you get into it, that you might not have the raw horsepower that you're looking for when some of these scenes get a bit more intense. I do know that in some of the later chapters of the game, they use a lot more lighting techniques. So you might run into not just hiccups, but game crashes and a possible non-functional game at that point. So let me know if you've had any experience with it. Otherwise, until next time, I've been Pat, you've been awesome, and this has been Dave the Diver on the Retroid Pocket Flip 2.